Howdy all, welcome to Lex Lives. I think it's time we play a little Infi-Tech 2. Alright, so I've been having some weirdness going on with my systems here. I don't quite understand what's happening. And so things are a little weird. Uh like I said, let me check to see if this thing is empty yet. Nope. Seriously? Wow, I had a lot of charcoal. I actually left my system running all night, but it stopped feeding and it's been working fine, but it suddenly stopped feeding charcoal out here to the chunk loader. So I assume the chunk loader must have run out, and then the chunks aren't loaded, and then nothing will pass through into the chunk loader, right? Maybe? So I don't know what happened there, because I haven't had that problem up until now. When I needed to run, I've left it on before and it kept everything loaded. I don't understand what's happened. Uh, um, like other things that collect charcoal are still collecting charcoal, just not that particular chunk loader. Actually, I don't know that to be true. Uh, yeah, see, this is still collecting charcoal. So you'd think the chunk loader would still have some charcoal coming out to it. Isn't there a level I can assign to that? Like maybe I can make it more important. I can't remember. I think there's a spot in here where I can say, hey, this is a more important. Yeah, right here. Well, let's just make you more important then. We'll make you the most important. So that maybe will fix that. Maybe. Um, and I had some problems with this thing. I don't know what it's doing, but it is definitely not doing its job correctly. Somehow, water keeps getting into my steam pipes. Now, there is not a place where water is even available to go into my steam pipes. Oh, I did this today too. I automated the addition of dirt and, although apparently I'm out of dirt and fertilizer to my tree farm, so I don't have to worry about that going offline while I'm offline. Um, and what else have I done? Oh, this isn't working either, and it worked really good. Like I got like two two stacks of wrought iron out of it, and then it refuses to work now. So I don't know what's going on there. Um, and I changed this how all this stuff back here is connected. I I've been using these barrels to determine whether or not stuff is actually flowing. And so I came back here and I disconnected all the pipes. Um, and so there's no more power running to any of these machines except for uh, these two here and this one here. I guess this one here is connected to what does it need to be? There, now it's not connected. So the only two things connected are this advanced gas turbine, which is going to power this advanced distillery, which won't keep power. And this normal gas turbine, which is going to power my arc furnace. But this is the problem I was having, was down here I have these set up, and I've got a basic compressor, and then I've got this item conduit coming from the fluid canner to the basic compressor. The basic compressor then outputs into the fluid canner, because the fluid canner is draining air out of these cells and placing them into the advanced distillery, which I had set up for making oxygen, which then goes into this barrel, which is then supposed to flow into here. And so none of that is working right. This will produce oxygen, but it sucks through the power like you wouldn't believe. Like, I can't keep a battery charged in that thing. It uses so much electricity to make oxygen. It's ridiculous. And I know there are better ways, but this was a quick, dirty setup to get this charcoal production going. My whole thing right now is I'm doing the quest, but I'm also trying to figure out the best way that I like, because obviously everybody's going to have their own best ways. But the best way that I like to produce power. I like the idea of the potato farm, but it does not work. It might work, but it's going to require a lot of work to get it to work the way I need it to work. I actually think I need to break my potato farm down into two sections and have two harvesters out there doing the work, and maybe two larger sections as well. So like maybe I need to come out here and move the chunk loaders around a bit and add another chunk loader out here, and have like one giant area around one chunk loader, with one harvester, and then an area around another chunk loader with the other harvester, all collecting potatoes. And I think that would work. And that's really not that much work. It's just a little bit of time, which I currently don't have. It'll be another half a week at least before I can get back to having any real time, which then will be Christmas, so I won't have time. So it'll probably be after Christmas at this point before I can really get into doing anything major like that. The other thing I need to do is I need to replace all of these basic centrifuges with advanced centrifuges. I've only got one advanced centrifuge going at the moment, but it is much faster at producing. It's about twice as fast, I figure, at producing the methane. And so I think if I upgrade my centrifuges to advanced centrifuges, then that will help a lot. I really need to move this down to the end that gets potatoes sooner. But yeah, and I checked it all out, and it does. It takes so little power to turn potatoes into methane that it really doesn't seem to have a problem just getting it from these turbines. Although it might take a little more, and so I'd probably have to recalculate. But if it produces it twice as fast, this is basically two of these other ones at this point. So if I could just get three of them going in the place of four of these, right, that's already two more centrifuges going than I currently have. And this thing here just keeps collecting water at weird moments. And I'm not sure. Oh, of course the phone's gonna ring. I am not sure why it's collecting water. I do know that I do have this over here, but it is not connected, and so I don't think it should be getting water from here. And that is the only place where there's anywhere I can think water would be coming in. Nowhere else should there be water coming in, but 3 times now I've had to break off this bottom steel pipe and use the plunger to get water out of this turbine. I don't know if it's just because it shuts down and it cools the steam down into water or something. I don't know. Because the only output of water should be right here, right? And you can see it's producing water and it's immediately going into the void fluid pipe because I currently don't have a use for water. And I mean, I do, but that's why I've got my water system. And I haven't seen a personal need. I'm sure I will eventually for distilled water. And when I do, then I can just, put a tank over here or something. But yeah, so it's been, I don't know, it's been, I wouldn't say frustrating, but like I said, I've got very limited time at the moment due to some work stuff, and um, today is actually kind of a hassle to me. Uh, Not to record, but last weekend I set aside a bunch of time to do this thing I'm doing for work, and then the system was down that I needed to use for it, and so so then that's didn't happen, and so now you know now I'm on this weekend, and then there's like 100 things happening this weekend, and then next weekend is Christmas, and all this stuff's got to be done by Wednesday, and yeah. But I did get my Canthal reformed into blocks, and I do have 48 of the 65, I think I figured, ULV machine casings done. So we can at least get started on this stuff today, even if it's not wanting to work with me very easily here. I've actually been kind of out of iron at the moment, too. Alright, so I want to flip these back on, I guess. And see how this does now that I've given it some time here. So yeah, so what this was doing was fine. It needs lots of fuel and power to run, whatever. So I was just recharging the battery off of my jetpack, which itself needs to be charged, and I should take that down and get it charged. And so whatever, I get that, right? So I was actually swapping a couple of different batteries back and forth with it. And I'd charge one while the other one was being used, and that's what I was doing to keep the oxygen flowing. And so it got to the point where I had like 1,500 oxygen in my arc furnace, and it's got a battery in it. So this is where I get confused. But even though it had like 1,500 oxygen in here and this battery, it wouldn't work. And so it would get like to about here, like it wasn't drawing power from its battery. I don't understand what was happening, but it refused to work anymore. You got me. And so I actually haven't been able to use this thing for a while now. Oh, you need a battery. Yeah. No, where's one of my big batteries? Who's got a big battery? Where are all my little batteries? Oh, you know what? I put them in these guys here because I was having problems getting these restarted after after the shutdown because of the chunk loader having trapped my... I think you've got one. There we go. This guy needs a battery because they're not getting any power at the moment. So I'm not too worried about that though. So I just want to see if this stupid thing will work because it hasn't worked. Anyways, so this says I need canthal coils must be present in the middle bottom. So this is a 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 5. Okay. And then any bottom layer would be an energy hatch, maintenance hatch, output bus, input bus, or hatch. And then muffler hatch. All go on the bottom, huh? Okay. So that's 1, 2... oh no, that's the top layer. What? And inputs on the top and outputs on the bottom. Okay. So 3 across the bottom need to be something else, and 2 on top need to be something else. Okay, let's grab the oven itself, and then let's go pick a spot for this thing, because whoa, that's a problem right there in and of itself. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'll put some steam turbines up here for them, and they can just get steam from the steam pipes right here. So I would guess I want it on this side, and it needs to be a 5 by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these two, I should probably pull this stuff out of them first. These two coke ovens, though, have got to go. You've got to go, guys. I'm sorry. Oh, I guess the stuff did come out of them. This new thing is supposed to be a great replacement for you, and so I'm going to choose the new thing that replaces 20 of you with a single item, because that will be better for me. So should I leave a... I don't think I need to leave a space. Right? Yeah, I think this should be fine. We do this, we do this, we put an energy hatch there, we do this, we do this. Oh, I already screwed it up. We do this, we do this. Actually, I think the input would be best from this. Well, input goes on top. Yep, input goes on top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait, does this thing take a maintenance hatch? It's got to take a maintenance hatch, right? Yeah, maintenance, output, and energy. So energy will go on the back. Maintenance will go on the front. Canthal goes in the middle here. Oh, good. Now I can't get in there because of the pipes. And I don't have my jetpack, so I can't fly up over top of it. Okay. And so then we put that guy down. Okay. And then okay. So that's 1, 2, 3. How tall is this thing? It's a 5 by 5. Oh, it's 4 blocks high. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 4 blocks high. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Is the whole center empty? I'm going to assume the center's empty. Yeah. Oh, output. I don't have my output hatch down here either. Um, Output hatch should probably be about here, I guess. Oh man, I'm feeling a little claustrophobic here. Input hatch will definitely need to go probably about there. Oh, and that's it. I'm out. So, input hatch and a muffler. Let's go ahead and just say the muffler's going to go here. So I still need 1, 2, 3, and then 8, and then 13. 14, 15, 16, 17. Like 17 more blocks, I think. Wow, 17 more blocks. And I'm going to have to move all this stuff around too. This is all in the way. This is in the way. That's not the one above, is it? Did I just destroy the one above too? Sorry, I didn't mean to tear out the one above. Okay. I mean, eventually, right, I will tear out the one above. But for right now, let's just leave the ones that are working in here. Okay, so output hatch there, and or maybe the output hatch should be. Well, my input hatch is on the front, so I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out eventually. And then, uh, yeah, so that's a pretty big structure. Wow. But once I get the rest of this going, eventually, then it's supposed to replace 20 of those with a single thing. So, it shouldn't be too, other than getting the canthal all cooked up, it shouldn't be too bad to get a couple of those going. And they're supposed to be, I don't know if they produce faster. I hope they produce faster. They'd have to produce like 20 times faster to make it worth it. If one of those replaces 20 coke ovens, then it has to cook 20 times faster. Which would mean like what? One every 20 seconds instead of one every 4 minutes or whatever it is. It's not like that, I know. Uh-oh. You suck dry all your fuel. But how much have you produced here? So 1,700. So you should cook this. Yes? So why do you work today and you wouldn't work last night with the same setup? How much power does it take to run this? Holy crap. I mean, that thing is being directly fed by a gas turbine. That's crazy. Raw iron is power expensive to make. So every stack is 8. So I'm gonna need like another 2.5 stacks, which I think is about what I figured, of raw iron. Just to make the casings. But the plus side is that once I... Is that you making that noise? See, it's got power. I don't... What's its problem at this moment? Is it not enough oxygen? Because that's more oxygen than it was just taking to make these. So this is what it's doing. Look, it's got plenty of power. And it's got plenty of oxygen. So why is it not doing this? And I can't get it to stop this cycle where it just sits here and goes, chug, ka-chug. I've got power. I've got oxygen. I refuse to do this next bit. Refuse. And then it's just a big waste of oxygen for me because then I have to break it down to get it to stop this. I mean, the battery is filling up. The battery's filling up. It's got 203 oxygen. It was taking, what, about 40 oxygen, I think, to turn that into raw iron. So it has everything it needs to do the job, and it's broken. Maybe I can disable it. That's what I should be doing anyways, instead of pulling this chip out, is I can just disable you. I don't know why I didn't think of that. Here, you can have your chip back. So now you're disabled. If I re-enable you, will you just do your job? No, it didn't. Maybe it can't pull enough from the battery, I guess. Well, except the gas turbine has got full... Are you not providing them with power, turbine? And you're just not doing it? I don't know. Something is screwy there. That's for sure. All right, well, well on my way to getting that done. And yeah, it is going to take some more work, though, unfortunately. But I got my canthal cooked before the next episode. Yay. So, all right. Click like if you like. Oh, man, look at that thing so full of steam. Subscribe, be sure and catch the next one. And I will talk to you later.